Omaha's news leader, chronicling the stories and people making a difference in our community. This is KETV News Watch 7's Chronicle.
Good morning. Thanks for joining us. I'm Rob McCartney. Well, the Metro is growing with now over 1 million people, but can business leaders channel that into continued growth? This new plan maps out the Greater Omaha Chamber's ambitions for the next 3 years. The plan includes these 3 points: strategic business growth, creating brain gain, and destination OMA. This morning, we're going to speak with the Chamber president and experts about that growth. We're also going to speak with the head of the University of Nebraska-Lincoln's economic department, who did the research for the report. First, though, last summer, researchers looked at data on cell phones across 66 North American downtown areas. Those numbers show Omaha not only doing well, but better than other Midwest cities since the pandemic. And Chronicle's Sean McKinnon filed this report last June.
In a world defined by smartphone use, every person and their phone becomes a traceable data point, meaning researchers can track activity levels in a downtown area, including downtown Omaha. Dr. Karen Chappell teaches in both Toronto, Canada and Berkeley, California. Her research shows downtown Omaha has 88% of the cell phone activity it did pre-pandemic in 2019. That's the second best recovery rate across Midwest cities and the 11th best of the 66 cities they studied. Chappell says that's because of a diversified downtown economy that didn't allow for as much work from home.
Uses downtown that had essential workers. So like Omaha has some manufacturing downtown, it looks like. Some logistics, some transportation.
The numbers look even better for Omaha when you measure nighttime and weekend activity levels. At those times, downtown has recovered 96% of pre-pandemic activity. And Chappell says it's healthy for the city to be used day and night. If an urban core dies, it's bad for the whole metro.
We just sort of know this from urban economics, that the donut is not a good thing. You know, having a big hole in the middle of your region is not a good thing. You want a vibrant core.
Since reopening in July 22, in Jean Leahy Mall's first year, Mecca says it saw 1 million visitors. Now with Heartland of America Park and Lewis and Clark Landing, the whole riverfront is on track to host 1.5 million people. And Mecca says that's a conservative estimate. Back to the data. If we look at year-over-year trends from April 2023 to April 24, Omaha had a 6% activity increase. Chappell calls that continued improvement. The only Midwest city which had decreased activity downtown is Kansas City, with a 3.8% drop. But that could be because of 2023 cell phone use spikes like Taylor Swift concerts and Chiefs home games.
But yeah, so that's why we try and look at longer-term trends as much as possible.
Sean McKinnon, KETV News Watch 7.
Well, the Chamber's new competitive economic development strategy includes a barometer report comparing the Greater Omaha region with 9 other metro areas, mainly in the middle of the country. Omaha ranked as high as 4th in 4 categories, as low as 8th in 2 of them. Told you how the plan has 3 sections. One is strategic business growth. That involves growing current companies, creating high-wage jobs, federal investments, growing business clusters, promoting inclusive and local economies. Second point is brain gain, involves a new workforce recruitment strategy, scaling existing inclusive leadership, collaborating with businesses in education, and supporting public policy. Final point, destination OMA. It includes points meant to sustain and enhance the region's appeal. So with all that said, joining me now to talk about all this is Heath Mello. He's president and CEO of the Greater Omaha Chamber. Heath, thanks so much for being back with us again.
Great to be with you again, Rob.
So let's look at these 3 main sites. For strategic business growth, creates good paying jobs, etc. How do you do it?
Well, throughout our strategy, we talked with a number of stakeholders across the entire region. And what we heard first and foremost was that to be able to create strategic business growth, we needed to focus first and foremost on our local employers. And to be able to do that, we need to be able to spend quality time with them to find out what were the barriers that were inhibiting their growth here in the region. And we know some of those barriers are directly attributable to workforce or the lack of workforce. Some of those barriers involve public policy issues such as tax issues and regulatory issues. But some of them also are involving what we know are opportunities for us, such as the ability to support our startup community in ways that we can help support a more fostering, a more entrepreneurial climate, so to speak, for our metro region. So when we think about the strategic business growth overall, we looked at it a more comprehensive approach in terms of ways that not just supporting existing employers, but looking at it from a variety of angles in terms of both public policy angles, initiatives and programs that we outlined in the strategy. But last but not least, we also know that there's a tremendous opportunity to attract new to market companies to the greater metro region. Something the Greater Omaha Chamber has been very successful over the last 2 decades. And as we outlined, there are strategic clusters that really we feel the metro region is really well positioned for in the future, and we simply have to go out and capitalize that.
Is there an aspect of the business community you're looking for? A typical kind of business?
Well, for us, we really feel that probably the single most important thing for us are high-wage jobs. That we outlined in some of our research that for families, particularly younger families, to be able to afford a house, that we need to be able to ensure jobs that are being created pay at least $65,000 or more. That's for us a baseline that we feel is critical for the region, whether it's in Omaha, Council Bluffs, Blair, Papillion, Plattsmouth, anywhere in our region overall. That's a baseline for us, whether it's an existing job of an existing employer or a new to market job in the region.
Yeah, we're talking about brain drain. You mentioned brain gain. You say this whole situation, you've called it a crisis. How bad is it?
Well, we know from some of the data that our friends at the University of Nebraska at Omaha Center for Public Affairs Research puts out typically annually, that the greater Omaha region, but also the state of Nebraska, deals with a significant problem of losing college-educated students and workers every single year. We are trying to look at this from an angle of what we have to do to keep more of those educated workers here in Nebraska. And our brain gain strategy is really trying to look at what we do when it comes to businesses and the way we go out and try to attract new to market businesses to the region. We need to do the same thing when it comes to people and talent. And that's something we outline in our Back to Omaha campaign strategy, which is going out and trying to find what we know are folks from the greater Omaha region who have a connection, whether they graduated high school or college, have some familiarity with our region, and they have family members or some connection, that we know that they maybe just don't know how much the region's changed over the last 10 years. Yeah. And we've got to go out and recruit them the same way we recruit a company. We're not going to tell you all of the strategy behind what we're going to be doing, but we know in terms of what we have planned and what we have highlighted, there's a number of cities across the country that are more higher cost, higher taxes, higher crime, that we feel we can go out and recruit those former Omaha area residents back to the Omaha area and highlight how great our region has changed over the last 10 years, both in terms of the quality of life, but also the thousands of job opportunities that currently exist.
Right, and then the third one is Destination OMA. I talked with Steve McCoy a couple weeks ago from the Airport Authority about how important the airport is, and it's a front door basically. A lot of times it's the first impression people have of Omaha. They're also looking at this. What can the Chamber do here?
Well, we really highlight in our strategy 3 areas that we feel are fundamental to making the Omaha region a destination for business and talent attraction for the future. And we've said that for a region, we have to be able to have strategies that focus on childcare, housing, and transportation. Right. That is what major metro areas have to focus on to be able to attract not just people, but also businesses to be able to flourish. And so mentioning the airport is one of those key areas. We're fortunate to have that terminal modernization project already in the works. They are going to be able to be that hub for not just businesses, but also people coming into the Omaha area. But we also have to look at our other transportation infrastructure, our transit infrastructure, the combination of our Regional Metropolitan Transit Authority, our new modern streetcar, but also our interstate system across the whole region that we know we're going to have to continue to expand and build to move what we now know are 1 million people now in the major metropolitan area. It's those important key issues that we feel from a strategic perspective are fundamental to Omaha and the Omaha region's growth. And we're excited to be able to continue to work on this over the next 3 years.
Nice. I was going to ask you, I mean, ran out of time here, but you have a very broad brush right here. And so 3 years, that's the deadline to get all this done.
We kind of outlined, we've got very, very strong KPIs in the strategy over the next 3 years, but we've been very clear with the community and our stakeholders. This is just the beginning, Rob, in terms of where we think the greater Omaha region can go so that we can create a greater Omaha.
Very nice. Heath, I appreciate you coming in today. Great
Absolutely.
information as always. Good luck.
Thank you. Thanks. Great to be with you, Rob.
You bet. All right. Okay, so next on KETV News Watch 7's Chronicle, an expert on urban core developments joining us in the studio. Public transportation, hot topic in Omaha. Is it an important part of Omaha's potential growth? We're going to dive into that when we come back.